All right, thanks very much all for joining. Today's guest is Boris Morgounovski. He's the head of digital analytics, global marketing at Credit Suisse. And he's going to share a bit about the project he worked on, creating an interactive digital campaign dashboard, which offers a 360-degree view of all marketing-led campaigns to all levels of the company. They have moved from Excel files towards automated Power BI dashboards, which combine data from multiple different online advertising sources. Thanks very much for joining, Boris, and over to you.
Thanks a lot, Matthias. So, hi all together. Welcome. So my name is Boris Morgounovski. I am heading the digital analytics department in global marketing Credit Suisse. Have been joined Credit Suisse almost 3 years ago, and during this time, I tried to let's say, automate as much as possible within our team and to help out to have data every time available when we need it. I have an Adobe Analytics background. I've been working with Adobe for the last 8-9 years. And since 2-3 years, I'm also working very close with other tools, which are focusing on advertising and also data visualizations like Power BI. Let's go through the agenda quickly. We'll start with the project goal and the challenges which had to be addressed at the beginning of the project. Then I'll explain our selection process for the vendor. I'll show you the live demo and show how we implemented the dashboards, and then just some recommendations and the lessons we have learned out of this project. Let's start with the goal. So the main goal was to create a real-time, always available interactive digital dashboard, offering a 360 view of all marketing-led campaigns to all levels of the bank. So when the stakeholders are going to their campaign dashboards, they can see what is their current status, what is the campaign, how is the campaign performing, how many costs, impressions, views, and clicks do we have, and which assets are working better than others, so they can optimize the campaign. And we combined the data from 20 different external sources, like all the where we do have advertising activities in the bank. We combined them and created one single view of performance. We worked with stakeholders to define one metric, or like, let's say, one view which can say what is the success of the campaign. And finally, we visualized the dashboards in the way that it's easy to understand for everybody. Which challenges did we have during the project? The number one is, as you probably know, Credit Suisse is a Swiss bank. So we have very, very high security standards. That means that to overcome the security standards, we need every new vendor has to go through this certain process, outsourcing process. So with the outsourcing manager, and here is very important to have foundation for the technical setup. So we had just few possibilities how we could do it, because the technical capabilities and many things are blocked and not allowed due to the banking policy. And here we have to find the solution which would work out. The second problem was we have many different sources. So we had many different advertising sources and social media, but at the same time, Google Campaign Manager and Google Ads and all other sites where we had some campaign activities. The worst of this was that for some sites we had different agencies, and every advertising agency, used different naming conventions. And this was one of the biggest challenge to align in the beginning on the new naming conventions for all the campaigns, for all the ads, and the structure, how to maintain all these sources in the way that we can, out of these naming conventions, derive the right value for the product, of the campaign, and so on. Then we have a big variety of different products. We have a huge product portfolio, and that means also very difficult because some accounts in some networks we have accounts only for 2 products, in another we have 5 products. And so this is also when we had to go to every tool where we had accounts and see what is there, which accounts do we have for which products, what are the assets there, what are the campaigns there. So it was quite big and very, very challenging. Very challenging process. This was big challenge. Also the beginning, before we started, we knew it's coming. Then we had problem with the resources, as probably many of you do. And what was a bit missing is the technical understanding with the marketing team, because also this is connected to the next point, shift to in process. So we went from Excel files to automated Power BI reports. And for many colleagues, it was a big shift, and it was quite difficult for them to go away from their Excel sheets with like a huge amount of tables, rows and columns, to something which is completely new and they don't have experience in. We still have some daily challenges, but these were the challenges in the starting point. Then when we knew what challenges we had, we need to address how do we select on the vendor. We knew that we cannot maintain all the APIs by ourselves. It doesn't go. Resources-wise and money-wise and also technically. So we needed to find a vendor which would, let's say, connect to all our advertising data and have it in one place. And here was important that we have an API to all the current resources and sources which we have and we planned to have in the future, that we have high security standards, and that the data servers are in Europe. Some vendor, 1 or 2, they had a server in America, and this was for us a no-go. And then very easy, it's written like easy connection to BI visualization tool. It sounds very easy, but in the Swiss bank, it's not as easy as it sounds, because it's not a cloud solution, which we had in Power BI. It's just on-premise, like desktop solution in the dedicated secured area within the bank. And to have this connection from the data from, for example, any of the third-party vendor to Power BI was complicated to, was a very, very important point, but some of the vendors didn't manage to create this connection. Because we were testing, we had some testing with companies before. Then very important is the good front end, so that we have a front end application where we can very easily see the data. We can drill it down by our dimensions which we want, the metrics which we need, and that we can see is the data correct with the original source or not, and that we can also make data manipulations and transformations in this front end without asking every time Windsor or any other vendor to do it for us. And pricing, free trial period, because we needed to test it. And if we have signed the contract already with the vendor and afterwards it turned out that it's not a good solution for us, it cost also us a lot of money, because we had in the beginning, we have an outsourcing process which takes some time with the outsourcing manager. And we needed to be sure. So before we say and sign the contract, we need to be sure that this solution is fitting our needs. And for this, we had to have a free trial period and test all the functionalities. Then how did we implement the solution? So first step was to extract all the data. So we have all this APIs. So we had, let's say, Facebook, where we had our advertising, where we had our accounts. Let's say we have 3 accounts on Facebook, we have 2 accounts on LinkedIn, we have 5 accounts on Snapchat, Pinterest 3 accounts, and you have some accounts on Google, Google DV360. And then you start to extract all this data in one pot. And here it's the big challenge is every source, let's say Facebook or Snapchat, let's say impressions, maybe it's still the same, but even there, when you have comes to clicks, you have different definition. In every tool, there is a different definition of clicks. There is, let's say, active click, there is an active impression, there is a click on the link click, so means you click on the link, or there is just a click on the, not a click to see the ad. So for example, on Snapchat, I think it swipes. So in every tool, there is a different, so if you want to have a proper metrics for every tool, you need to define what is the corresponding metric, what do you want to, what you pull out. So for example, if you want clicks, in Facebook, it's clicks called, let's say, link clicks, this I remember. So this is active click to come to your website. On Snapchat, it's already something different. It is already something completely different metric. In Pinterest, it's again something different. So here it's very important to have a clear understanding of which metrics and dimension do you want to pull from each of every source. We started with very few. We started only with 3 main ones. It's just general impression, general click, and the click is means which click to your website or to the ad. So you click on the ad, active click, and the cost. This is everything which we started with. Afterwards, we added engagements on social media and so on and so far. But here it's very clear, very important to understand what exactly you want to have. When you have this done and made yourself a plan, like all the sources, which data do you want to have from which source, then you start to make the data transformations. And this is very important. And this, I think, what was for us the most big challenge, because here you need to look in every account and every campaign. Is it a good naming convention there? And here we completely changed in this transformation process, changed completely the whole naming convention process. So we defined with the campaigning exactly how the naming should be for every there is a new campaign, there is a new ad, which information should be included. So this is not to underestimate this process here, because also you have different product portfolio. So every ad you need from the ad to be able to say which product is it, which, let's say, source is it. And yeah, it depends. It always depends how do you want your data set to be done and what is the final output. When this step is done, which took us, which is still taking us time in everyday life, but I would say it's like 3 months, when we have checked all the data and cleaned it up and made data transformations, then we started to load the data into our BI tool. So we don't use Windsor for dashboarding. We use Windsor for to have all the data collected. Then when the data set is clear and proper, then we upload it into the Power BI. So it's automatic connection with Power BI from Windsor to Power BI, and from there we started to create and visualize the dashboard. And here already it's more, that's a challenge on the operational side, because here my team needed to learn the whole Power BI, a bit of DAX formulas here, and how to visualize, for example, calendar, how to do the calendar, how to visualize different, how to use the filterings options, and so on. So it's more on operational level here, the challenges. I would like here to show you the final output of the product. So I share with you now. Wait a second, I need to stop. I make screen sharing, okay. Then I go to the Power BI. Give me a second. So wait, and I share now. Again, screen share. Good. I hope it's working. No. Here. Please give me a sign that you see my screen. Somebody has just to say yes or no.
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, perfect. So this is just very dummy data because of the policies and data confidentiality. I cannot show you the real data, which I hope you understand. And here also some fictive products. But generally, what we have done is we have combined the data from not only offsite, but also from our website, from Adobe Analytics into Power BI, like Windsor and then Power BI. And then for every product, the user can see the visits, costs, clicks, impressions, and conversions. And then analyzing further, the user can go then one step further and see, okay, for example, for the product B, this was the performance, and then you can also see different, for example, break it down data by different times. Or if you want to have, for example, product A and B, then you can also combine it and see here. And here you have also planned values. So what was your plan for this time period? Was this your success? How did you reach your goals? And how much did you spend, and how much conversions do you have altogether? And we have also different types of conversions here, conversions category 1, 2, and 3. And basically, this is what is used by our campaign guys to optimize campaigns and so we use it both ways to optimize the campaigns, but also a lot for the reportings, as you might know, because we report the data quite often, normally on monthly basis, but sometimes it's ad hoc reports are also needed. And when it comes to ad hoc reports, then it's always good to have something ready and not to go to, let's say, Facebook one tool, then to once into Snapchat, once there, to see how many impressions we get in this and here and here. So you have everything aligned here. And we drill down also the data by, let's say, the source. So here can you see different sources which we use, and all these sources are mapped here. For example, Watson, Twitter, and so everything is mapped here in one dashboard, and you can see the data really nicely. Also, for example, if you go to paid social, let's say, then you see, for example, for this product, the data for all the paid social activities, let's say, right? So here, Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, there are the Twitter, right? So this is actually all very combined. I go back to the PowerPoint, and then I will be open for questions. And I just want, as we already almost 22, so I'll make very quick 3 minutes, that we have 5 minutes for questions. So lessons learned. So very important is to have exact definition of what you want to achieve, which KPIs, dimensions, metrics, which is data sets, data granularity. Then you need to onboard your project team, like different direct stakeholders. If there is no need, then nobody will use it. We have in another team, we had a use case where somebody approached the team and said, okay, what do you need? And they gave a huge amount of different requirements, like we want this feature and this feature and this feature and this feature. At the end, they implemented everything, and then the person just looked at it only twice, and that's it. So the outcome is, if you don't have the feeling that the people are really using it, you just lose time and money and money, time, and energy. So it's very important to see that there is really use case and it's really, really needed, because these projects like that cost a lot of time and money. Then you need somebody in-house who understands the products and the tool landscape within the organization, who has the technical understanding and can really drive it further to the next level. We had also cases that before in the past where it has been tried to make the same project with the outsourcing agency, and it didn't work, because there need to be somebody in-house who understands the landscape, who knows the people, who knows the products, and really has the clear view of how the final output should look like. Free trial period, this I talked already about, and very, very important, and I think I'm talking for my whole team, that the first months are very intense. And here we were really relying on key account manager who is really not just telling us, okay, thank you for your requirement, I will pass it over to my technical team, and then you will hear from us. And this happens to us very often with other projects. It should be a person who really not just takes the notes, but who's really has technical knowledge and understanding and able to help you to solve the problems right away. And this was the case where we were lucky that we have this partnership now with Windsor, where there is no like I taking it up and we'll just come back to you. It's a very, very short information line, and we get feedback very, very quickly, which we very appreciate very much. Angelina, I hope you're on the call. It concerns you mainly. And what did we achieve? So we did something which has never been done before. We reduced the time it takes to create the reports and insights. We enable the dialogue between stakeholders, and the data is always up to date, actual, and they're using this data, they're using these dashboards for optimizations, but also for reporting purposes. And last year we won a Marketing Achievement Award for this project within the global marketing of Credit Suisse. I hope, so we have 4 minutes for questions. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, please, I'm happy to hear.
I have one, if no one else has one. Like, what resources would you recommend reading when it comes to building these Power BI dashboard? Is there some particular blog or site or course you would recommend?
So what I did, I had only a bit of knowledge of Power BI, and I think my team didn't have any, I think. So we did it hands-on, let's say, learning by doing. It's very interactive, like intuitive, the Power BI generally. And there are a lot of online YouTube videos and different resources for that to learn. And if you have a specific problem, there is a great Power BI support chat where between the users, and users normally reply very quickly. So I had few issues where I wanted to have a formula on something, DAX formula on something, and I didn't know how to do it. And then I just explained my problem there, and it was people helped quite quickly.
Nice. Okay. So they have a nice community. Okay.
Yeah, it's a big Power BI community. Yeah.
We have any other questions?
Either it was everything clear or nothing clear. So it's like both ways is possible.
I guess it was the former.
Oh, you never know.
But yeah, now then, in that case, let's wrap this up. Yeah, we get the message all clear. Thank you. That's great. Okay. So it was the former. And thank you so much, Boris.
Thanks a lot. If you have any questions and you have similar cases, so just whenever support is needed or just hints or ideas, just let me know.
Yeah, perfect. Will do. Thank you so much. And
excellent. Have a nice day, everybody.
Yeah, you too. Have a good day.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.